If someone would ask me what are your favorite MFT lenses, I would clearly answer the Sigma Contemporary series. In the last 2 years, in countless occasions on 4 different cameras, doesn't matter if it was photography or videography, if there was an MFT sensor and I was in the room, then one of those lenses was on this camera. Both lenses provided me always with a sharp image, even in the corners. But actually this is not really a surprise, because the Contemporary series was initially designed for APS-C cameras. This is the reason why the whole series is available also for Sony E-mount and for Canon EFM cameras. I own 2 or 3 of those lenses, starting with the 16mm f1.4, which is also the most expensive of the series with $400, followed by the 30mm f1.4, which is the cheapest actually with $300, and there's also one available 56mm f1.4, which doesn't make so much sense for me or for MFT, but it's perfectly fine for APS-C because it's the equivalent to an 85mm for the most cameras. But besides of the focal length, the really affordable price or the speed, there's a really another outstanding feature, the focus ring. I never expected or I never experienced such a smooth focus ring. There's no stop and no end, and they're feeling really good. Especially when you're filming handheld and you're holding really close the camera to your chest and you just can use it like this. And it feels like really on point and precise. And this is really something which I appreciate. I never had it on another lens, not even on the big Sigma Art. I like also appearance and the material of those lenses because first of all it has the same material with aluminum, only the filter thread is made of plastic and the focus ring. But they also look like they were made for cameras like the GH5 or the GH5S, because a lot of these more affordable lenses are really small and they look often like toy camera lenses, like the Suico 45mm f1.8. It is a great lens, but it looks ridiculous on a GH5. This one looks really like it was made for it. And we have to be honest, sometimes you look at it and you think it's a beautiful rig, and I'm really proud of it. I told you about the great focus ring and how much I enjoy it. But there's another feature which makes those lenses sometimes superior in comparison to the Sigma Art lenses. A lot of the Sigma Art lenses are actually a little bit dated. They have an HSM motor which you can clearly hear when it focuses. This one are more recent and they have the new technology and they're really silent. I never really heard when they were refocusing, especially when they lost focus, which can really clearly often happen on a GH5 or a GH5S, because all of us know the autofocus of Panasonic is not really great. And the last thing which I really appreciate on those lenses is they can really take a hit. You might see some scratches I have here because this lens fell a couple of times because I was not taking notice. Actually twice it fell, because they were on a monopod and I was not making sure that the monopod was standing really stable, and then it fell. But no harm on this. I cannot even hear anything. It's like nothing happened, and I'm really glad that I still have this lens in my bag. To have a better understanding how big they are, if you know the Nifty 50 of Canon, this one is a little bit longer, but it's around the same size, and this one you can see it's more massive than the other one. And this brings us to the next section. Not everything is perfect about them. I have not a problem with their size or their weight, because I'm also used to shoot with full frame, so this is perfectly fine for me. But some people of you which making, for example, urban photography, they shooting with a small GX9 or with a Olympus pen or something, and then this lenses might be too huge for you. So you have to consider, should I get it because of the quality, or should I leave it at home because it's so tall in comparison to the rest of my lenses? And another thing you should keep in mind, everything you want to control here is only internal over the camera. There is no ring for the aperture, and even when it's on manual, it's technically using a motor. But overall, this is all what I could find why these lenses might not be something for you. So what is my conclusion after 2 years with those lenses? I would buy them again. If I need a second copy, I would buy them again. If one breaks, I will buy them again for a really good reason. It really made what I always expected. Even when the autofocus is not great, but in the really rare occasions when I used it, it was most of the time on point, and it was really close to the performance you know from the Panasonic Lumix lenses, because native lens or native glass worked all the time the best on MFT so far in my experience, and they were pretty close. They were not slower or something. They were often on point, and I really enjoyed to work with it. Doesn't matter if it was on a gimbal, on a slider or handheld. With these wise words before I release you home, you can make another wise decision. You can leave a like and a subscribe or a comment, and we can discuss about the topic. You can make some recommendations, or maybe you have an idea for a topic I should cover. I will answer for sure. This was Shutterhouse. I'm Konrad. See you in the next one.